Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy James from What's Your Forte, and today I'm gonna be giving you guys my 1,000-mile check-in on my Macan S. We're going over some pros and some cons and just how it is living with the car on a daily basis. All right, let's get to the video. All right, everyone. So living with the Macan S on a daily basis right now has been great. It has a higher entry point than sedans, so it's a little bit easier to get in and out as far as that's concerned. And then also just living with the car, the way it handles, the way the steering feels, it's just been good, man. The car, as far as like gas mileage, stuff like that is concerned, the best I got, just took it on a nice road trip back home to see some family. And I got around 24 miles per gallon, which is a little bit less when I got on the M5. The M5 was actually very fuel efficient if you kept it under 80 miles per hour, which was really hard to do. But still, for this car being an SUV, not being as aerodynamic, I'll take my 24 miles per gallon on the highway that I was able to achieve. This car has about an 18.5 gallon tank, so that's still some really decent range if you're doing any highway or road trips. In the city, it's around 19 or 18, you know, with this being a compact SUV, not being as aerodynamic, you're going to get that type of fuel economy. Otherwise, all the button placement where everything is as far as inside the cabin is actually pretty good. It does have some touch buttons mixed in with the touch screen. And that will bring me to one of my first negatives, is the actual Apple CarPlay. So it's not full screen, but I do know that there are some coders out there that can code it for full screen. If any BMW guys are watching this video, you guys know that we dealt with that in a lot of the older BMWs where it was 3/4 screen CarPlay and the other little bit third is whatever, you know, you can scroll through the media, go through different types of screens there. And it's the same way in the actual Porsche. So, you know, it's just something I have to deal with right now until I can figure out the coding solution. If you do have a coding solution or have someone that you know that can do the coding, please comment down below and let me know who you got. So I did a negative, so now I got to do a positive. So as far as a positive is concerned on the Macan S, daily driving it so far, has been the handling. This car shouldn't be a surprise. It is a Porsche. It handles great, man. I know I really push it through some corners, was really trying to really push it, and the car just took it like a champ. The one thing that my car does not have is the Sport Chrono package, so I don't get the dynamic as far as traction control is concerned, but even without that, this car does handle corners very well. It has a very nice tire setup, and I think that helps with everything as well. There's a little bit of body lean, a little bit of body roll in the chassis when you're going through a turn, very, very aggressive. But otherwise, the car handles everything very, very well, and I'm very happy with it. I will say that it would benefit even more for some coilovers or lowering springs, which will be in the future. So if you're looking for that type of content, hit that subscribe button. All right, so you guys can see the steering wheel here. This is going to bring me into my next section about the daily driving the car. So this steering wheel is very nice, super nice. The leather feels really good. The buttons, everything feels very high quality. And then you got your emblem right here, which looks very good. So if you do have a steering wheel like this, one thing that I found out by accident is the heated steering wheel button is actually right here. So it's like a little button you can hit right there, and then you can get a heated steering wheel. So that's very nice. The downside that I think to this whole thing is there's no real way to skip a track if you're using Apple CarPlay. I already told you guys I kind of use Apple CarPlay as my main driver for the infotainment, which you guys can see, and there's no real way to skip a track unless I manually go in here and skip the track. There should be a button or something up here. You can increase, decrease the volume, answer phone calls, hang up phone calls and all that. And this wheel right here kind of goes through the menus on the digital screen right here on the right side, but there's no way to skip a track. You can program this button right here to skip tracks, but it only works on a default radio Porsche radio in here. It does not allow you to skip tracks within Apple CarPlay. I don't know why. There should be some type of actual skip track button somewhere. You can actually use this wheel right here and skip a track. You can click on it and scroll through things using this wheel right here, or you can just touch it with the touch screen. So there's no real way, any way to skip a track. You can control your volume here. The shift paddles feel really, really nice. They feel very quality. They don't feel plastic at all. They actually feel like the aluminum paddles. So they feel really good right there. And everything in here is very well lit, very high quality. The screen, it's kind of like, I think this has to be an OLED screen. It looks very high quality, high def, 4K resolution has to be, or something close to it. Very, has definitely have a high pixel density, I would think, on the screen. So, I mean, as far as the interior, as far as like grabbing and driving and maneuvering through this, it's very nice. The sport clock here, I know it's a Porsche thing. I don't use it. If I need to look at the time, that's the last place I'm looking to look at the time. I grew up in the era where, you know, we used clocks like that to tell time. We didn't always have digital clocks. I mean, I'm not that old, but I'm just saying, like, the digital clocks you weren't always around digital clocks. My mom had a grandfather clock, and it had like a regular time dial like that. So I'm used to looking at time dials growing up, but that's still the last thing I look at. It's just more of like a eyepiece for the interior. So all in all, daily driving this, you actually feel like you're in another Porsche. You actually don't feel like you're in an SUV. You feel like you may be in like a 911 or a Carrera or a Cayman, only because they have this low sight line right here. And I've been in Caymans and I've been in a couple of Carreras and 911s, and the dash and layout kind of looks the same. You know, at least this part right here, it all looks the same. So Porsche kind of keeps that same design language. So yeah, man, I mean, this thing is nice, very nice to daily drive. And with those features there, they definitely help out. So the Macan S has been very good to live with so far. The seats are ultra comfortable. The interior space is nice. Everything seems to be, the build quality seems to be very nice. It doesn't have a lot of ambient lighting or like fanciness as far as that, but everything works well. And when you hit the buttons, everything reacts well. So I appreciate that. So for the next steps for this car, we're going to be doing some performance, some suspension. One thing that this car definitely needs is a throttle commander. There is a little bit of a lag when you're in comfort when you push the throttle. And that's one of the big sore spots with this car. Now, when you're in Sports Plus or you're in Sport, you don't have that issue. But if you're in regular comfort mode, you kind of have to push on the gas and then wait for the PDK to kind of catch up with what you're doing. Speaking of the PDK, this PDK transmission in this car is very good. Me coming from the BMW performance world, I would say, I don't want to hurt any Porsche fans' feelings, but the PDK is very good. I see why everybody raves over it. It is very good, but I would say the ZF and the new G80 M3 is just as fast, just as good. And even my tuned ZF transmission I had in my F90 was almost as good. I think the PDK has it in downshifts, but as far as upshift speed, the ZF is just as fast. Downshifts, I think the PDK is just a little bit faster, but they ain't that far apart as they used to be. Now, granted, I'm comparing a newer BMW to a 2019 Porsche. So maybe the newer Porsches have improved on that speed. I don't know. I may have to find one, drive it, so I can give you guys that comparison between the ZF8 and like a BMW M model versus a Porsche PDK. But as far as this model I have right now compared to even my 2019, stock for stock, the PDK was better. My tuned ZF and my F90 was just right on par with this. I will say having 8 speeds does help on the highway, helps keep the RPMs down lower versus the 7-speed. But I mean, the ratio seemed to be pretty well, and I was able to get pretty good gas mileage on the highway still with this car. So no real complaints from me on that. But as far as the build's concerned, we're going to be doing exterior stuff. We're going to be doing performance stuff. I'm going to be working with some, I can't disclose everything yet, but we will be developing some stuff for this car that is not on the market yet. At least that is the goal and the plan. I'm in discussions and talks with a company right now, so we can get working on that. But there will be some stuff for this car that I hope to bring first to market. Yeah, man, this is going to be a fun ride, man. I'm going to miss the M5. I'm going to miss Gumby, but this car is saving me about $700 a month that I can invest into something else at this time. And I just think it was still a smart decision for me to switch from the M5 to this car. I'm going to miss the performance. I'm going to miss having a 700 wheel horsepower riding around doing that. But you know, it is what it is. Sometimes when you grow up, man, you got to make grown-up decisions, and they're not always fun. But you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, man. I know I've got some hate because I left BMW, but you know, this is just temporary for right now. We're gonna have fun with it, bring something different to the channel, and see how it goes, man. I've always wanted to drive a Porsche, wanted to own a Porsche. Couldn't get a 911, wasn't in my budget, but this was, so we rolled with this. So I will be putting out some further videos about some of the other options that I looked at getting instead of the Macan. That video will be coming soon, along with some other mod videos. I got some stuff being delivered right now, so we're gonna be getting some mods put on this car. We're gonna slowly start the build. All right, so my goal is to turn everyone's opinion around on the Macan. I know there's a lot of people that don't like the Macan, think it is overpriced. I will say brand new, I think it is a little overpriced, but in the used market, you can find these for a very good price. I got this one for around 40K. You know, for everything you're getting for around 40K, it's a great deal, great car to have. So, yeah, man. So I hope you guys stay around. I hope you guys are enjoying this content. If you have any content you really want to see, let me know down below. And I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.